Okay, what a beautiful Ashgocha Pratis. I can't get over it that we're learning the Gemara of Hanukkah, and it ended up, we could have been learning it middle of Pesach, but it just ended up that we're learning the Gemara of Hanukkah right before Hanukkah. The truth is that we'll learn it during Hanukkah and we'll finish it off after Hanukkah. Okay. Yeah. Said I'll be back tonight. Okay.
You need the homework.
Yeah.
What? You need the homework.
Yeah.
No, but usually not here.
Right. Yeah.
If I worked out Mordecai Klein to let's see, Hanukkah. So for Shumi is yahrzeit, and I can go might be. Okay, no problem. Whatever I mean, doing it. Two is not problem. Three could be a little like later. Too good.
Yeah, thank you. I'll take some more. Okay, let's go straight in it. Let's dive into it and let's zoom here. Ner Chanukah manicha al Pesach hasamuch l'rshus harabim b'chutz. Im abayit pesuch l'rshus harabim manicha al Pesach. Mim yesh chotz l'fnei bet manicha Pesach chotz. We pass on like Tosis. It has to be in the outside to the rshus harabim. Like it says in all the Maimonic Chassidus, that the point is that we want to illuminate the darkness of the night, and we want to illuminate even the place of Rishus Harabim, the place of public domain, not the Rishus HaYochid. We want to bring light even to Rishus Harabim. Okay. If he's living in a second floor, he doesn't have a door to Rishus Harabim for whatever reason.
Second floor.
Right, in the second floor. The second floor has a separate entrance. And the entrance goes to the Rishus Harabim. Okay, so then he puts it at the door.
What are you talking about? It's Aliyah. It's so hard.
Either he goes up through a ladder, or he walks into the bayis.
And then from the bayis.
And then from the bayis, he goes up to the Aliyah. There are houses that way. Even today, you have. So, weiter. There's a danger. He puts it on his table. Your person should have a different candle in order to use it. That's what we call the shamash today. If he has a flame in the house, he doesn't need another nail. So the Mishnah Berura, יש חוצר לפני הבית, מתזהם פסוח לנשוס הרבים, שאין לפסח פסוח לנשוס הרבים, וגם אין לפסח לחוצר, או פסוח לבית. The person is in the second floor, but he walks through the front door of the first floor. He doesn't have a door that's going out to the Rishus Harabim or to the Chotzer. So then he puts it in the Chaloin. Tzarich neirach, it passes the heker latova. And yesh medur v'yachol shtamish l'fanev yesh heker shenei yesh l'mitzvah. And we want, so then it's fine. Okay. Okay, let's continue. I'm thinking
now when my grandfather in Yerushalayim, he used to light the menorah like in a glass. So he actually had a chotzer to Rishut Harabim. You have to go in like 3 steps and then go with chotzer. So the menorah was in a Pesach, mamash in Rishut Harabim, lemata me'asor tefachim, and Rishut Harabim. All the miles.
All the miles. It's unbelievable.
Yerushalayim.
No. Your father's father?
No.
Your mother's father?
Yeah, my father lived in Mesh Yorim, so he couldn't do it because the door is so narrow over there. There's no place to put it, so he put it in the porch.
Well.
Chabad came in Mesh Yorim?
So today there's a shul in Mesh Yorim called Tzemach Tzedek.
Wow.
In Mesh Yorim?
Yeah.
And
they
let them daven and everything?
Everything, yeah, it's Chabad.
Right? It's not the Kapuster one? That's
called Kapuster?
No.
One is from Kapust, right?
No. That's
in Meir
Shorim. It's old Chabad shul. It's almost as old as Meir Shorim itself.
Yeah.
Okay, let's continue. See, Vav, he said, Manicho, you should put the menorah l'mayla m'shloisha tvachim. Otherwise, on the ground. Mitzvah l'nich l'mat masar tvachim. It's a mitzvah to have it under 10 tvachim. Well, they said Sunday morning, that's very low. The under 10 tvachim is like 30, lower than 31 inches. Menicha l'mayla masara tvachim yotza. Ali manicha l'mayla me'eser mama lo yotza. Afilu lokcha Goluk v'nich l'mata me'eser lo yotza. That lock oisim when he did that lock in the wrong place. So that's it. It's all over. Let's do the Mishnah Berurah. L'mata masara tvachim. Dike pirisum anest fake shu l'mata. Zava also lo ender l'nicha kol kach l'mata. Why should it be l'mata masara tvachim? What's so special about l'mata masara tvachim? What's so special about it? So the Rosh says because when you put it so low, everyone knows why are you putting a candle so low? Who puts a candle so low? You have a chandelier hanging from here. You have it on the table. Why do you put it so low? Why are you putting it so low? Because you're doing it for the mitzvah. When he's putting it so low, it's niket for the mitzvah. We spoke about it Sunday. That the Mordechai holds that the Bisman Hazeh, it's not shaykh, this whole thing. Okay, Natur Sosam Vazeh, Mashma, the Sfira Leid, Ein Lachal Bazeh, Vachem Nergin Kulam Adak, Mashkosa Beis Yosef. The Takazoik, that if you want to be medaktik in the mitzvah, you should put the Menorah Lamata Masarat Vach. If he's if he's on the second floor or the third floor, it doesn't matter. The mile of putting it on the window trumps other things. Person says, "Oh, the windowsill is higher than 10 tefachim." Still, the mile again. We're talking about a window that is under 20 amet. If the window is higher than 20 amet, you run into another problem.
And so this menorah made out of silver, but for the rich people, like a big menorah. I think the one of myself.
Right.
The Israeli company.
Hatzorfa.
It's a huge menorah. It's probably the man myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have on Technic Avenue, you have a store, silver store. The window there, the
Right. It's silver, yeah. It's the man myself. Gorgeous.
I'm not sure if that's considered lamayl. Could be. Well, okay. Let me explain. When we say that it's higher than Chof Amma, it's possible. So if the candles are burning higher than 20 Amma, even the menorah is a huge menorah. Say, and
the candle is
one tefach higher. That's it. It's possible. That understands. It's like sholta be'ena. But Lagabe saying that there's a heker that they're doing a mitzvah because he put the candelabra in a low place. Could be that over there, even if the flame is higher than 10 tefachim hayois, the menorah, the place lamata is good enough. I didn't. I've says I'll make a note to myself to look it up tonight and find someone talking about it.
The whole menorah, or does the candle?
Right. I'm not sure. I'll make a note to myself to look at it. But I would say it's mustaber that it's good enough that the menorah. Yeah, I'll lean it. It's mustaber to me that as long right, it doesn't. If the flame is even one drop higher, so then the person again,
right,
he can't see. But shkoyach for joining us. We're learning Hilchos Chanukah.
Oh. Nice.
Okay. So okay, let's continue. Yeah. And that is basic nesses. A minute shemanayim b'makom gavoya. By basic nesses, we don't. It's forget. The minute is to put the natives dafke b'makom gavoya in the basic nesses. Not like Rabbeinu Yoel. Rabbeinu Yoel said that today that we might do the menorah in the house, all rules are suspended. But we say no, it's not true. Even in the house, it's not. Yeah. Has to be. This touches a little bit in the shiloh that Rebbe had. That's what the Rebbe said, that there's a problem. People that light by the window, as if they're living on the third or fourth floor, and it's higher than 20 feet from the ground. So it's Lamaila Makov. That was the timing that we spoke about on Sunday. Okay. He said if you did it higher than 20 amal, because of a prichot, Nicht lamata me'etzem, v'lim edlikir lamata me'etzem, v'notla v'nichel v'makam acha toich esem yoytze, david lokim, v'makoyim, v'shnei makoyim shenim. If he lit it 110 to 20 amma and just moved it a little bit from here to there, it's fine. Because he wants from one kosher to place to another place, it's fine. But if you lit it to begin with higher than 20 amma, it's a possible place, and at the loka is a mitzvah, there's nothing you can do right now besides blow out the candles and then do it all over again. Okay, let's continue. We're on the first page in the copies and in the last two lines. Mitzvah la'anichoi betef tamach lepesach mismoil. Kedeshia mezuzah mimin v'nechanaka mismoil. We want a person should be mesubah b'mitzvahs, surrounded in the mitzvahs. And this way we hear the mezuzah is mimin nechanaka mismoil. V'im ein mezuzah. There's no mezuzah. We should be dafka pesach. Why? We'll learn in a second why. The name mezuzah. If there's no mezuzah for whatever reason, so then he puts it on the right side. If he, till now we were talking about when your door is closed. Usually most people want to close the door. They don't want the wind coming into the house, want a cat walking into the house. The door is closed. What's if the door is open? What does that mean? It means like this. This is the door. This is the door. So if the door is closed, so you have mezuzah miyamin, nechanaka mismoil, and betefach to the doorpost, close to the tefach of the doorpost. But if the door is open, so this we take this whole space and we say, oh, how many? We look at the threshold. We take a measuring tape. Oh, there's 6 feet. It's a big door, 6 feet. Yeah. So we say, oh, as long as you're within the 3 feet of the left, even if you're 2.5 feet away from the door, but you're towards the left, that's good enough. That's what he means. Our minig is that we do it b'fnim. We do it on the table in the house. So there's no hekel when it's around. Our meaning is to still try to do a tefach hasamach l'pesach. Someone came and advised. Showed if you're a lahat the kolach makom yuchim malav and then it beyach by neka kamas nefs madlik. Komak mizor shol lahat le makom shel lik maneris kolashon because lo yeker klav. Vavki ein heker akol the advice komak mitzas heker mi boy. He's saying like this. That if there's 4 minorities in the house, right, and they're going to try to do the tefach and samach l'pesach, how can you do it? You're going to smush 4 minorities next to each other.
It's going to be a leva, not a
right. Then so and also there's another problem. If you're going to smush the minorities next to each other, we're trying to accommodate. Tosfos says that it doesn't make sense. A person's looking through your window, looking through another door. It's supposed to be the third night of Hanukkah, and he's counting 9 candles. So he's confused. So the Tosfos says, so the Tosfos says, therefore the Tosfos goes against the Rambam. He says, no such thing. Hadar is only 1 minority for the whole family. So even though we spoke last night, the whole people, we're trying to accommodate for everyone. So when you put the minorities a little further apart, here, this minority here, this minority here, so it's nikkud to the eyes. Oh, we have 3 in a shamash, 3 in a shamash. It's the third night of Hanukkah. Even though it's 9 candles, but I could see it's
off from each other.
A little further away from each other. Even though Tosfos wouldn't, it doesn't. A man standing outside, he's counting 9 candles. It doesn't make sense. You're trying to announce it's the third night of Hanukkah, and you put 9 candles at Dreis Takah. But we're trying to say, so we're trying to put the minorities a little further apart. So even though there's a mile of the tefach hasamach l'pesach, what's the mile of tefach hasamach l'pesach? Because it's nikir that it's done with tzarech mitzvah, just like lamata masar tvach. What's the mile? Because it's nikir done with tzarech mitzvah. We're trying. There's a lot of things we're doing which should be nikir. It's hard for us to imagine today why you need to do anything that's nikir with tzarech mitzvah. You went to the Judaica store. You went to Hatzorfen. You spent $500 or $1,000. You bought a nice menorah. Allah can sense in menorah. It doesn't look like a chandelier. So I'm a menorah on a chandelier. Whoever made. But you have to realize in the days of the Gemara and the Shulchan Aruch until 150 years ago, till Atzorim opened their factory, and maybe before, but I'm joking. So a candelabra is a candelabra. Maybe a person is lighting it because he needs candles in the house. So we're doing all these things that the Gemara says. Even if it's not ma'akev, but we're trying to do all these things. We're having a special other candle. And the other candle is the Hekeda that it's not just in case I need to use it. No. It's a Heked. If I needed a candle, I have a wax candle. These are all things that are Heked to show that this candle is l'tzorich mitzvah. Let's continue. This is what we learned about last year. So if you learn today the Hayom Yom, it says that the Rebbe Rashab, when he lit his menorah in the house, he didn't care if it's mizrach ma'ariv tzaf and darim. So what's the chiddush? So let me explain. He says in Shulchan Aruch that the minig is when you have a basic knesses to put the menorah in the darim. Why? Because in the basic mikdash the menorah was in the darim. There's a machlokas once you put the menorah in the darim. This we all agree the menorah is bedarim. There's a machlokas rishonim how the menorah was standing. Mizrach ma'ariv, like it's in 770, mizrach ma'ariv, or tzaf and darim, like in Beis Menachem Mendel, the way we do it here. So but the Taqa'ah Machlokes in the menorah in the Beis Hamikdash was the darim. But what was it standing like this? The first candle over here was ma'ariv, and then mizrach ma'ariv, or tzaf and darim. So that's the two minhagim in the shul. So that some say. Everyone agrees in the shul you should put it mitzad darim, but the question is mizrach ma'ariv, tzaf and darim. It's told in this machlokes. So you could say that what the Rebbe Rashab held was, I guess, that this thing is only shaykh to the neighbors of the Beis HaKnesses. In the Beis HaKnesses, we're trying to do similar to the menorah in the Beis HaMikdash, but in the house, the whole thing is not shaykh.
But why they have to light in the
1 second, I'll tell you why.
Everybody light home.
1 second. Because in the house, Chazal made a takona a pesach based on b'chutz in Ma'idar B'aliyah b'chaloin, and otherwise, so it doesn't sound like Chazal. What menorah in the basic Knesses, as we'll learn in a minute, why did they make a menorah in the basic Knesses? So somebody should him say the menorah in the basic Knesses was for the people that are sleeping there, just like they used to have kiddush. But Shulchan Aruch doesn't even bring that reason. The Shulchan Aruch holds that the main reason is a different reason.
In the day also.
And we're doing the day. We didn't pay this. The Gemara never talks about it. So we're going to say in a minute that you can make a bracha even on a minute. That's what we do tackle. That the Gemara says only 18 days for halal, and we say halal also for the shchait Shabbat days, and we say a bracha. That's a parla minute. So we do make a minute, and we'll make a bracha in the minute, which is a big chiddush. That's why we make a bracha, even though it's not in the Gemara. We make a bracha anyway. We're not chosh a bracha l'tala. So now you understand, it's a big difference. The takona of Ner Chanukah in the house and the takona of Ner Chanukah in the Beis HaKnesses are totally different things. This is a takona that the Gemara is talking about, the Farisim HaNes. Not so much representing the menorah in the Beis HaMikdash. The natives in the Beis HaKnesses, which is a minig Yisrael, Toirahi, is a little bit of a different thing. And that would take chelik of the minig is to do it in the oifen that's reminding us of the menorah in the Beis Hamikdash, which is the Mistabas, the Mikdash Mat, the Eivish Shtub. And we're hoping that soon we're going to be in Yerushalayim and HaKodesh in the big Beis Hamikdash. So we're doing it b'doimet, and we're putting it b'dorim, and hence the two machloikes, the base of the machloikes, if the menorah was mizrach ma'ariv and dorim, that's the way. But that's what the Rebbe Rashab said in the house. This whole thing is not shaykh. Okay. ומדליקים מבורכים בבית הכנסת משום פרסום הניסה, ואין אדם יוצא בנראה של בית הכנסת, Shulchan Aruch holds it's not really for the people, it's only a separate meaning. That's when we do it in the basic Knesses. If the people in the shul are in a hurry, and they wanted to start Ma'ariv Urachum, so they could start as long as the Shamash already lit one candle. Yuchla Shamash Lahadik Anishonim Bashliach Tzibbi Yispal. Exactly. Is that what the Shechroich has written also for Fayekis? Okay, let's go to Mishnah Berurah, Siv Zayin. It's Sivkot and Lamed Aleph. Tefach Zamola Pesach Shim Yarchiken Alalama Pesach and Nikashavel Balas and Nechasham. It's not nikir that this is belonging to the balabais. It's a lantern in the street, so we want it to be nikir that it was from the balabais. La Pesach Bain Imanocho La Pesach Oy Al Pesach Echot. It doesn't matter. It always has to be Tefach Samach La Pesach. Kadesh here we mesuba b'mitzvahs. We want a person to be surrounded in the mitzvah. The Ovid Ivanich Nachanka B'min is also yoitza, as the Gemara says. Is that Kadesh Mesuba Mitzvah, the Gemara didn't mean Likuva, the Gemara only meant L'chatchila. The Komid of the Mitzvah, you mean Odif. V'oidik Pesoma Nisatzvei, Shakal Payel Mitzad Yamin. So if you don't have a mezuzah, by the way, it's not an unusual case. In Europe, in a lot of countries, the Eden would not put mezuzah in the outside door. Because they would not put. Because the Goyim would come around and just take away the mezuzah. And they would go and throw it in the garbage and mevaz it. So they had no choice. They wouldn't put mezuzah. That was in Eastern Europe. In Taqa'ah, if you go to other countries, like if you go to Spain, and you go to old cities, so it's a pella. Yidden are not there already 500 years, and a lot of the houses have a carving in the outside from mezuzah. Not like one or two. You should go and you see hundreds.
Jewish people used to live here.
Yeah, you can see Russia.
It was a Jewish.
Sapella.
Yeah.
No, you don't smoke that. The Spanish government puts Magen David for business.
Oh,
but the mezuzah, no one b'chlal. You have to be a yita b'chlal chak. No one makes time b'chlal. I think the going to Koisha town, some of these places didn't see a yid over there. I went to the Rebbeinu Yoina Megirundi, chalash to see. And where's the Beis HaChaim? Who knows? La'erech and all la'erech. It's like a people tell them, but. Not a single Jew has been there for 500 years. But it's not like the goyim stand b'chalvat. You're walking around quietly, no one's bothering you. See a mezuzah. But in Eastern Europe, the Bach says that most were scared. They didn't put mezuzahs because the goyim would be mevazah the mezuzah. Weiter. ואם יניחה בדלת עצמה כבר יש הסיב מחץ שכניסה היינו למוקם הדלת שנכתום שמות לחבאי שיחל כן על השניים מחץ הנטו צד שמאל שנגע מזוזה שהזוזה מימין שם יניחנו. Like I explained before, that if the door is open, let's say there's 4 feet in the opening, so 2 feet belong to Yamin and 2 feet belong to Smile. So as long as you put the menorah within those 2 feet, it's kosher v'yosher. It's good. משהו מזה, יוכל להניח בכל שטח או יצא החצי. בהם בתש דייט של המייס, רוח להחמל, להניח נרס בצד השמאל, וקצה האחרן, סמוך לקויסל to the doorpost. כל מקום מיני כדי שכון אז בין שני מצווס. ואין לשנת, בכל מקום אם יש לחלון הסמל שזרמם, יויסה נוחן, שאכן השם כדי שהקל שזרם מספרס הנס, אם לא במקום לשכיחה, זה ידי זה. That if he has a samach chaloim that he shuch zerabem, that's better. Is better than putting it in the house. Bevis knesses based on Medrash. Koisel Dorim, Oyal Shulchan, Shemet Koisel Dorim, Tam Zeichel, the Menorah, Shemikam Mikdash Bedorim. Dorim not a toe soif, it's a Menorah. Sad Mizra Gam can gain a Menorah, the rest was Dorim Mikdash, Mizra Chalmari, can you sad the Gam Menorah? That Yishmash, I mean, Svirlo. The Alpha Menorah, is Bedorim, a Komak, the same as Dorim itself, and Dorim. They do, גם נרס חנוכה יש לו סד באופן כזה, יש שם כמה שנוגו, כמה למחול בהם, יש שם לך לסמוך. So תקעא זה. It's 2 minhagim, says the Mishnah Berura. I mean, last year we spent a long time on the sugya, and the Shimas and Menorah. I mean, we almost finished it. I thought maybe this year we're doing something else. So.
You said you couldn't have to do the mitzvah right away, so how did was it? You have to walk now another step.
Right. No, that's that all went into the whole mix of the machloket. This is the linchpin of the whole sugya because he has to do the mitzvah right away.
Closer when he walked in.
But the Zohar was closer when he walked in. Exactly. Weiter. Lamaida, Amad Lakim, Mafed of Ladon, Panam Latzofen, Madlik Yemina Shnei Samachlon HaKodesh Shemois Veilach Maschal Asmali Poina Limine. It's interesting. It's 70 the other way around. I don't know why.
So 70 start on the right side.
Yeah, they stand.
Not the closer down.
Right, exactly. I don't know. Interesting. The MS says if you want to look at the base of Mikdash, it makes more sense the way doing 770. You have to look in the Chuvas.
How do you do with 770?
That's
where it is.
They start with the Ner Hachirochek Ma'aron Kodesh. And third in the base of Mikdash, Lloyd the Shita that said that Mizrach Ma'ariv Ner Maravi was the first candle. The very first was called Ner Mizrachi. The second was already called Ner Maravi. They never stopped. There was Ein Mavir and Alamitzah. They never went all the way to the Kodesh HaKadoshim and started from there. So the way to 770 makes I don't know. Like Mema says, Blinad, I'll be mine in this Chuvach some Sefer to see.
Usually it's a certain I have a question in the back and the front.
Yeah, exactly. Kuf Pevav. I'm looking. Yeah, you have
no matter what
over there. You have on Kodesh here and there. But look, Mavarch after the Knesset Surak, Menhok, Makom, Mavarch, Mavarch, Mahal, Shredesh, and Minik, Marvel, Mastal, Berach Hanukkah, Madl, Kodam Acher, Neris, Mishum, Shant, Chayonu, Mavarch, Moz, Minker, the Ace, Simchi, Latziber. Venkadesh Avil Yadlikim. Aval, Bebese, Yochel, Mavarch, Shechayonu, the Aval. It's different. In other words, when he says, by the way, he says Ovalami, it doesn't mean the Shiva. He means Shemes Achodesh Alavim Shlashim Shakroivim, like he says in the Sharatzin. Aval Shor Arvis the Chanukah Eimavarchim Shechionu Yochel Aval Lahadlik Ne Chanukah Mispal Aval B'Chanukah Mincha Ma'ariv, but not Shachris. Minik Chabad is that it does have a Shachris, it just doesn't say Halal. But it says B'Chamisha B'Av, B'Chamisha B'Shvat, Lag Ba'omed, the Leis. Halal of Mispal Shachris Gamke. B'Chalamoy Davik Yom Tov Manati L'Pamel Laniach of a Lispal Mincha Ma'ariv. Ashma B'Shachris not. It's funny. It's bad minute. I mean, the Welt today feels
they don't.
That the Yom Tov forget it. No way, no how. The Avelim don't daven. But Chanukah Yesh v'Yesh. Tzedusha Minig. I think Chabad.
Well, yes.
Chabad yes, Alamai Nishter.
Except for Halal,
Except for Halal, right? Except for Halal. But I heard a Shabbos. Someone was here. I think Mr. Klein was saying that Siddush Minig is that the Avelim don't daven klal Chanukah Shachris. They don't, right? I mean K'maydiv.
No, he has a question, because Shumi has the outside, it's out.
Uh-huh.
You want to make sure he's Shumi.
Daven
Daven?
No, because it's a simcha, so they don't want they don't they daven. They're still Jewish. Yeah. Well, hardly because it's exciting time, and we don't want the oven. We want
the davening should be simcha, not
don't let him do it. He makes like the try.
Hardly make nesses by mincha l'mayrev. Roitz loymer. I feel like hardly calling myself like a chavin. Let's say Saknesses Neugam Lacher Mincha B'Shosh Elam Kubotzim, because that's a mile when the oilam is there after Mincha. Before Mincha, no one's here, and after Ma'ariv, people run home. Bam the Lacher Ma'ariv ain't noch a Lachav oilam lazer.
But after Shkia, they're moving out.
Huh?
Talking about the Nagashma, so they don't wait till 6.
Right. As they're saying, Afila Neugam Lacher B'Chol Yom B'Tzesek Echavim. It's not only with the Gashna. Those that do B'Tzesek Echavim we see next seminars. A lot of people do B'Tzesek Echavim. The light.
But some people do it after Shkia, because in the shoulder down in the by Shkia time. So they're lighting a candle. They're lighting a candle. Mamish.
So 70 they light candle 3:15.
Right.
They never have to plot.
3:30.
They can't plot.
Right. Okay.
Right? Since 70 is 3:30.
Right. They wait. They wait for Plagaminta. They sometimes they wait for 3:35. Whatever.
That is what does it.
After Shkia,
It's out.
It's a mission version. You do back to that.
The fair shot.
they do what after Shkia? In the shul?
Before Shkia, Shkia the light of Menara, and then they'll be Mara right now.
Why do they have to wait for Shkia? He doesn't see. That's what he's saying. Machna shtois.
You can do it anytime after plot.
Okay. He sees. He doesn't care as long as that's his mashma. It's mashma that in the shul we're not makpid on this man to do it, but
after this.
yeah. It says noigim lahadl bein basic knesset bein mincha lamayid.
Go out to my right away to your house to like it.
Most people don't like the davening mincha after playing.
I see that Taka.
Then the Frenchie does do my for we don't.
Okay, so they wait for shkia.
Have to wait after the davening at that time.
Come to this kind of come to us. By the mincha can go to Rashala. Dr. Moshe Koster Shena Noigim came. There are those that Erev Shabbos in the shul they would like to before mincha. That's what the Ramah says. Aber Dr. Moshe Koster Shena Noigim came. Alaf Erev Shabbos madlikum b'sek nasis bein mincha lamayir. Exactly. Shosha Ela Maschil Maskabetz Vike Pirsuminis Achim Ela Masachim Lot. Basically, Terem Shiova Minil Basic Nessus is Kaddish Hayem Loyam Tinklau. The Vorech, the Yad, look me Yad. If you look at the Mincha, the Como Communicate Pirsuminis, Shemam Hakim Basic Nessus, Vanem Aneris. So, exactly the Shailem Basic Menachem that cuts Shom to wait. Elamai, you're going to light earlier, but no one's here. Why are you making a bracha? No, you're making the bracha because eventually the oilam is going to show up, and there is the pesuminisa, so Mele makes the bracha. In writes on the Mar, Dafka Vazel, Lavachi, Toiv Yoiser, Shigmer Baatzra Mitzvah, Shishroba. I mean, the minig was that the Shlich Tzibur is the ones you see from before, like Abed Oval, the Shlich Tzibur used to light the menorah. Today in a lot of shuls it's not exactly that way. They machabit someone else, but there used to be the minute the shliach tzibur lights the menorah. So it's a weird thing that he giving over to someone else. He should finish the mitzvah, matzvah mitzvah. Duchel hashamash da bracha chol ala echod shehidlik do iker v'shar enel yider mitzvah. V'odim v'beisek k'shemizdam ala eze davar nochutz lacher shehidlik echem duchel acher lahashlam mishvili yashori aneiris.
Probably because they don't have street lights, so they have to get home before which one?
Yeah, oh, they said that's the hurry. Oh, yeah, that could be. Yeah. Well, what's the hurry? Yeah, could be. In a hurry, like you said, no street lights. No, let's go right in the.
They used to a lamp lighter.
Yeah, but they don't have people that have this walking.
Yeah, exactly. It was more sakana. We see from.
I can't imagine how you live without lights.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, weiter. Sagt der Shulchan Aruch Sif Ches, Chotza sheyesh lo shnei psachim v'shnei ruchos. This is the Chotza. He has one door here, one door here, one door here, one door here. Tzarech ladul b'shnei, im nechshad, because people are going to say, oh, he's not lighting the menorah. He has two doors, one here, one here. So if the person is walking here, can see there's a menorah here, so it's not a problem. They
don't assume the guy's lighting in his house.
This is really because this is an old minig. If we're going to say something, that the tour and the mechaber bring the tour. It's talking the tak, and the days of the tour, they still used to light al pesach beis and machutz mamish kedina de gemara. And the Beis Yosef is quoting the tour, mamish kedina de gemara. That's what the Ramah is going to say right away. Yimadlu b'shnei psachim and uvarach rak be'echad v'shemadlu b'lo brach. Mi b'zman hazeh shekulam adlikim b'fnim mamish vein heker l'bnei rutshus harabim klal. Fili yesh l'chotzer l'bayis harbe psachim l'harbe ruchas ein madlik ela pam achad b'fnim kein nirali. It's Kiddush is not when you're doing it on the window, you're doing it like Lubavitch is doing it in the dining room living room. Saying even if a person is doing it al Pesach Beisai, but mi befnim, he's not doing it achalon, and he's doing a Pesach Beisai, but he's doing it mi befnim. So you have a minute, the door sometimes could open up, and it's nikir l'bnei rishus harabim. So no. This din that you have to have two menorahs is only when you do mamish kedina the Gemara Pesach Beisim b'chutz. That's it. That's the Mishnah Brura. Chotza sheyesh lo shnei psachim tzivkot nun vodim bayis. עכשיו שהם נעידת, אבל לא עדלק בו, בכרס נמל לא עדלק. וכן, אפילו כל המותן שבחוץ, שייך לא אדם אחד, שאין לו שם בחוץ, רק בעזר, חצר ועדלק, שני פסוקים. רוח החתם לחוץ לו שידלק באחד, מה שלא בשני, יודו, אנשי עידה שמפנים ובעזר אחד, ושני פסוקים שייך במפק. ועדלק במקום אחד.
So if somebody lied in two something, you make one bofa.
טוב אומרך. אבל אם הם שני בוטים, שמה יצא ככל מתוי, אבל בשהם שלא דמאכל, שניהם, if it's Taka two houses, he owns both of them. Because Taka made two, משום חשד, שאחר שני בני אדם דונם שם, משום כאילו בשם שייך מהרמאס. What happens if there's two houses? There's two houses and there's a wall, a brick, two houses, and there's a wall between them, and he bought his house, and a few years later he bought his neighbor's house, Lamazak. Okay? So now it's Taka Machlokes if he needs to have both. Again, this is all going to the Etzem Adin when we're doing it al Pesach Beis and Machutz, and we're doing Pesum Hissa to Rishus Haranim. Bifnim Mamish, see the Mishnah Berurah says, Hanim is Manatu, and Atlikim Eitz al Pesach Beis and Bifnim. Lo yoisin, lo koponim heker lo ivrim. Ken yesh shad, lo shen heker koroi lo ivrim. Shekin Hashem, Atlikim Mamish Bifnim. B'liach, B'slon Klalas, Heker B'nei Rishus Harabim. Atlikim Shad to do.
Is the Gemara?
What?
This whole.
Yeah, this is the one. We're teaching and I'm sorry, I said it before a little wrong. Bismana Tur, he's saying that even if they didn't do it on Pesach Beis of Machutz, they did it on Pesach Beis of Bifnim. So there was four. Yeah, because the door opens up sometimes and people could see it. Shenka Bismana said we pack it to Bifnim Abayis Mamish. So there's no hecker of Nerishus Arab. So this whole din, and if you have two doors, and one is here, one is there, that you need two menorahs, was only talking when it's al Pesach Beis and Bachutz, and the Kiddush is even al Pesach Beis and Bifnim, but that door that's going out to the street, he was scared to put it there because the Ganovim, so there used to be Ganovim, the Goyim used to steal a silver menorah of Achai, swap it, take it away. So they would put al Pesach Beis, but still, there was the door that opens, so any person that walks in and out of Chotzer, so for the few minutes that the door swings open, people could see the menorah. So you could say that's still Shaykh Din of the Gemara, that two doors, you need two menorahs. Lididan that we're doing al Shulchan or Bechaloin. The whole din the Gemara not Shaykh. Okay. Showing next sif. Next simon. Next simon. Like I said, Sunday it seems from most of the Shonim hold, it's not the pshat that when you do the menorah in the house, that there's no Pesum Nisa. It's just that the Pesum Nisa is not L'bnei Rishus Harabim, the Pesum Nisa is L'bnei Bayis. Kentucky, like I said Sunday, Mordechai, it's mashma, that Mordechai holds that, no, it's a mitzvah sadlokas name, it's not no Pesum Nisa. But La Halacha, in Shulchan Aruch, that's what Taka, we bedoichet the Mordechai. We say, even the that we're doing El Shulchan Aruch, but you should do it Lamata Masarat Vachim. Because it has to do with Pirsum Nisa, which we nikr, it's done for the nest.
That's why even if a person live by himself, just one person, it's still like
right.
To himself also.
It's Nishkarayik, it's it. I'm saying that there is, the Mordechai seems to hold that once you're doing it inside your house, it's not for Pirsum Nisa. That's a mitzvah.
No.
But no, it's mashma that even in the house, that's done. And we'll see later a lot of other adinim that we see. Okay. Simon Tov Rishayim Beis. Terach. It's a sweet simon. Why is this simon so sweet? Because it's so complicated. So any yid that learns this simon, zisa yid. You have to do it. The Gemara says, what's this man? So the Shulchan Aruch paskin, that means Sof Shkiyasa. This is the shit of the Rambam.
What's Sof Shkiyasa?
Oh, this is what we're going to finish the Berura. This is there's so many shittas, they go like, it goes from here to here. Even though the cloud we have.
When to start?
Yeah, when to start lighting. So we're going to learn now in the Mishnah Berura. This is like the one by Mechanike, it runs from Here, it's all the way there, extreme. Besides that, we have Bachlal and Machloikis between Rabbeinu Tam and the Goinim. How Bachlal, what Shkia means Bachlal. What Shkia means Bachlal is Machloikis. But even within that, there are those that hold that, like we're going to learn in a minute, that it could be Makdim or Ma'achis, Nush Gefährlich. So you could do as early as an hour and a quarter before, and you could do it a whole night. This thing, Lo Ma'achim Magdim, the Gemara never says. It's a Lashon Rambam, Lo Ma'achim Lo Magdim. So those that have, like, you could start an hour and a quarter before, and you could do it till Alois Hashach. Wow. And then you have the Rambam who says, Lo Ma'achim Lo Magdim. And then B'chlal, you have, like, what's this man? We'll learn from the Mishnah Berurah. What's the Shokach Hama mean? Shkia, according to the Goyim, means one thing. According to the Rabbeinu Tam, means another thing. Now, within the Rabbeinu Tam Gufa, it doesn't say B'shkia Sacham. It says Mishet Tishok Acham. So some Rishonim means that they smack up Shkia Sacham and Mishet Tishok Acham. Hakmunish and Shainik. It means exactly the same thing. But some say no. Shkia Sacham means one thing. Mishet Tishok Acham means another thing. What's the deal? Mishet Tishok Acham. So some Rishonim means an hour quarter before. And some think no. Mishet Tishok Acham means after. It means like after Tzeisak Acham, really. That's what it means. So this is how we'll come over some by Hanukkah. You have so many sheets. Before we read weiter, before we learn the Gemara. Sorry, what are you saying?
It's going to be like Rabbeinu Tam. Some people is already Kochvim, and by Rabbeinu Tam, it's not even mentioned.
For sure. No, we can still daven.
I'm saying,
still daven,
but if you're holding
but look at Menorah, it's even more mugzim. The whole machloikus over here. There's four shittas. The Gemara says like this. The Gemara says, I'm giving this a little bit of Agdama because I understand what's going on in the Simon. The Gemara says, what's the time? The Gemara says, so we see my love, dim kof sazakakwa, that if it burns out, you have to relight it. It's like the loy. The loy adlik inami l'shiura. That if you do that, this time we say k'moy chatzi shah, whatever. And this time shakachama shiklar rashus k'moy chatzi shah. So the loy madlik ma. If you didn't light, you light. And or l'shura, how much oil you need? There's two shittas of how you learn this. There's a machlokes Rambam and Torah. What does it mean? The Rambam learns, which means more a lot. The Eloi Madlik, if you didn't light within this half hour, you could still light within this half hour. But before or after, no, you can't. Before or after, you can't. That's the Rambam shit.
If you pass dark.
No. So now there's other shittas. Also, even within the Rambam, you could say, but that's only the end of the Gemara that Pesum and Nisa. In the Rishus Rambam, but in the Dan, that there's no Pesum. There's always a way out of it. There's so many shittas, and there's always a way to wiggle out here. But and the Etzim Dim, before we get to Bismanenu, that's not with Rishus Rambam. It's 4 ways of learning this Gemara, no less. There's only 4. This Rubik's Cube can only be turned in 4 ways. There's 2 tirutzim, so there's only 4 ways of spinning it. Adam Azog, that both answers are right, that Rambam holds. Both are true. You have to put a half hour of oil, plus you can only light it within this half hour. Beida tirutzim on ends. Many other Rishonim, starting from the Rosh, hold, no, it's a suffix. We don't know which teretz is true. We have to be machmer by both. Put a half hour of oil, but also try to light in this half hour. But according to those Rishonim, it's shver. But maybe the halacha is like not like this. So say nishkefeilach. If you did it later, you could still light it because maybe the Rosh says that if the half hour passed, you could still light the menorah. Why? Because who says the halacha is that you only have to light in this half hour? Maybe the halacha is like the second time is you have to put a half hour of oil. We could do it 3 o'clock in the morning also. So we could. Why can't you make a bracha? It's a suffix. Brachas. It's not clear that the Rosh holds you can make a bracha. Okay. Second sheet.
Now we see why it's spinning.
It's spinning. The Rambam holds both tirutzim are true. The Rosh holds, I'm not sure. To be machmer. Maybe the halacha is like the first teretz, like the second. Some hold the halacha is only like the first. Some hold that the halacha is only like the second. You can't have more shittas than this. Two tirutz in the Gemara. The halacha is like both. I'm not sure if the halacha is like the first and the second. I know for sure the halacha is like the first. I know for sure the halacha is like the second. And so these are the four shittas. Then on top of everything, like we just said, you could even if you hold like the most machma like the Rambam, both are true. It's in a way it's more very clear like the Rambam is it's a very simple formula. Both tirutzim are true. And when the Gemara said inami, it didn't lagabi your question. And I have two tirutzim. You said because the Gemara says mitzvahs kofd you have to relight it. No, it's not true. The meaning of this Gemara means two things. But Lamaisa, we're noyeg that the Mishnah is going to say we're noyeg to try to light a takim bisman. Even though that's not Persumenissa, but Lafal the Gemara already made a zman for it. The Gemara already gestalt as man. So therefore, we're noyeg, and the Bach is very familiar with the Kashita. The Bach holds that just Lagabe, we spoke about it last year in one of the Sunday Shur. Just like Lagabe, Hadlok B'dikas Chometz, that you're not, from a half hour before Shkis Achama, you're not allowed to learn, you're not allowed to eat, you're not allowed to do anything until you light the menorah. The same thing is Lagabe Ner Chanukah. Even though we're not doing it Pirsumei Nisa, but the Gemara Gestalt Azman, and that Zman is a Zman. So we're makel that if you lost the Zman, you could still do it. But Lechatchila, from a half hour before Shkia, you're not allowed to eat, and not allowed to drink, and not allowed to learn. And that's why I always say it's appelled to me. And not allowed to work. It's very funny. I could say because he was already the same like if he already started and he started with Manhattan, he could continue. It's a very, to me, a pell. I see a lot of yeshivas. To me, the biggest pell is yeshivas. Made of people that have to make in the office. That's not play from the. I can't leave the office. He has a store. It doesn't. Let's leave that for a minute. We are still in the office. We didn't put on our time. So we didn't take a shower yet. Still in the office. But how does he run away? It's like the seed that comes here and he says that Rebbe Shalom hates farmers. In Mitnamol, it's a good season. So there's 8 days of Yom Tov, Alamoyed. What does a person do? So, Pashtus, person's working, he's working. But to me, it's a pellet that yeshivas that they still Bachram sandwich. Let them go to the dormitory, wherever they're lighting them there, light them in there, and then. Okay, but the truth is, I think. Yeah, I didn't say. I've seen many yeshivas, not in Chabad. Chabad the takamak bin zman, but yeah. I walked out. I was learning over here in Chaim Berlin. I walked out. The base measure packed. A yochid walked out because it's zman. So
and they don't light in the base medrash.
They light in the base medrash, but and I'm saying the bochrim, the talmidim, they light in the dorm, in the dining room.
No, but dorm base medrash where they learn, they don't light.
But they do, but you're not Yotze HaMitzvah. It's a separate. A minig bi'alma. That's a separate thing. You can't be. So anyway, the bottom line is,
Go back to learning after.
Because they were choishes from the Torah. Could be also a practical thing. A lot of these, some of the Talmidim go home to their parents, and the parents are sitting in the office, so they're not coming home. Or let's just I'm going to be Baratola. I'm just saying.
So I have a question. Tomorrow night. I should daven first, then a half an hour before Shkia. I can't eat, I can't work, and I can't learn.
You have to do your work. If you're working in an office or you have a job, do till you punch out, until you clock out.
Okay.
That's if you have a job. Otherwise, not.
Okay.
Let me just cut straight to Minik Chabad, which is the Gro seems to hold. That's Shitza Gro also. That so we're going to learn some of the Mishnah Brura that what's like if you hold like that Rabbeinu Tam, so there's a lot of room over here. Because Rabbeinu Tam holds when the sun sets, there's 4 meal, and then there is sunsets under the horizon, which Rabbi Google will tell you wherever in the world you are. It'll tell you the minute the sun sets. It's off by 2 minutes, whatever. Then you go 4 meal, and then that say sakecho. If you bounce back a 3/4 of a meal, which is about 15 minutes. Those last 15 minutes is your Suffolk Yom Suffolk line. So when we say Sof Shiyasa, there's those that say that means if you go light ben atam, it means after 4 meal, and those that say that it means 15 minutes before, like we call it 72 minutes. So either it's minute 72 or it's 15 minutes before minute 72. That's if you hold like the ben atam. But if you hold like the Goinim, sunset, there's no monkey business. Sunset. When Google tells you the sunset, that's when the sunset.
Touch of the horizon, below the horizon, the whole sun below.
Right under the horizon. But the Alter Rebbe, the Google tells you under the horizon, but Alter Rebbe holds that it's Gagen Hagavoy in the ear.
Okay.
So even though the Google says it's the sunset, but if you would be standing on Gagavoy, you would still see it. So it's maybe 2 minutes. There's okay. So to Chabad, it's very simple. Also, the Mincha Ma'ariv thing always becomes very simple according to Chabad. Why? Because if you hold like the Goinim, so the sunset, so you daven Mincha. Sunset, what do you do now? Like the Menorah. Ma'ariv? So it's very simple what you're supposed to do. You daven Mincha. Sunsets, you light the Menorah. Then, whatever, 42 minutes later, 25 minutes later, you can be making 25 minutes. You go to shul and you daven Ma'ariv. But otherwise, it gets a little complicated because maybe you should do Ma'ariv first because it's already came Zman Ma'ariv. Let's read it quickly in the Mishnah Brura. You know what? Let's not try to chaparein. We'll read it. We'll read it next week. Let's just finish the sif. The person that Torud, he can do an hour and a quarter before Shkia. By the way, that's why Chabad puts 50 minutes oil, because even though they Kemoi, because we're doing it mamish by Shkias Kama, and we're choishish maybe that Rebbe Tam was right a little bit, so maybe that's the reason for minute Chabad, whatever. Like sort of like the Rambam, they're both Shirutzim and the Gemara both true. אין צריך לזור להד לקודם שתך לרגל מן השוק. בכל מקום, טוב לזור גם בזמן הזה. But there are those that hold that even בזמן הזה you should be nizer. So you should be nizer. The truth is, for Lubavitch, it's much harder to be nizer. Because it's a Shki Sacham. It's crazy. Shki Sacham is so early. Tomorrow, what time Shki is it?
4:10.
No, 4:30, 4:28.
4:28. So
it's mamish. It's very early. If you all like Rabbeinu Tam, you get yourself another 72 minutes, maybe even more. 72 is a simplified shita. Could be Rabbeinu Tam really means much more than 72 minutes. So a component of the Gaben Chanukah can be made, but for Lubavitch it's very difficult. Miu hani milu lechatchila. Avlim over. Then you could do kol halayla until Amud Shach. But again, the Mishnah Brura and them told that it has to be people are in the house because at least it's not just a mitzvah; it's consumerism for the house, for the people in the house. It's not like Shmoneh you could do 2, whatever. That's it; it's done. If he missed out, he didn't light. It's taka machloikis. The Rama brings the machloikis. The first night of Hanukkah, he didn't light a menorah. Second night of Hanukkah comes. How was he supposed to light? So some say he's supposed to light 1. Some say 2. What's the svaras of machloikis? So if you were here last night for the shir, you know right away what it is. If you're on Mailam Bakoidish, it's so what is it like 1? But if you're the Yom Nechlas you have to declare how many days was the day stuck up 1. It has to be 2.
Somebody who forgot to light at night and he come in the morning to shul. Can you make a bracha in the shul?
No. That's it. Once it's Alois HaShachar, it's done. Ovaz Manai, there's no Tashlumim, Batul Korban. Okay. Okay, that's Hilchos Shmiras Aguf HaNefesh.
Rabbi, tomorrow night, she is going to be approximately 4:30.
4:30, yes.
So the earliest time to light would be about 5 o'clock.
No, 4:30.
4:30 is
You're only Babbage, so you like 4:30.
okay.
Unless you have something to do.
4:30.
For those that are annoying, like the Goinim, for sure. Yeah, those annoying like Goinim, 4:30. It's a little hard. Like tomorrow, I'm planning to. It's the first night of Hanukkah. So I told my wife I'm going to pick up the kids to school because the time they come off the bus already 5 o'clock. So it's, so I'll pick them up from school. I'll pick them up a few minutes before 4. At least the first night on the night session. But to those that go to Benatam, it's a for a little talk. I'm not sure that you must decide if you're going like a Benatam for like one night can do the going and you have to wait for the kids to come home. Yeah,
Thank you.
especially if you put people that are not very much Shabbos and let them Benatam. Then what's wrong to go like a Hanukkah like Benatam? Huh?
Only the Hakmar, not what to.
That's right.
And I remember you taught us
And I'm into it, sure. Yeah.
that we have to watch the candles the entire time.
Yeah.
We
No, for a half
for
hour.
half an hour.
For a half
For
hour.
half an hour.
Let's say hold on.
Okay.
I'll get a little too difficult.
I'm sorry, a half an hour.
Half hour.
Yeah.
So nice when I made rockets.
Wow.
Took the rocket and sent to Israel and made them later. Yes. Yeah, very good. Sorry.